Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. The time is 9 a.m. and you are listening to and watching Good Morning, Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast, and indeed, Aurora weather here on the second largest city's first daily news podcast. As always, the weather comes from the National Weather Service of Chicago, delivered to you here locally in Aurora. Hope that you guys are doing well this Wednesday. Let's talk about the temperatures that we can expect today and into this evening. So, starting off, as we can see here, a daytime high of 88 degrees with a daytime low of 80 degrees. Now that's a far sight better than yesterday. Quite hot yesterday. There's still a 20 to 40% chance of humidity. The potential for thunderstorms does exist today as well. Now as we get into this evening, 70 degrees for the nighttime high, 62 degrees for the nighttime low. A 15 to 20% chance of thunderstorms is what we will end up with tonight. That will transition us into more humidity tomorrow, sorry to say, but 88 degrees for the daytime high, 83 degrees for the daytime low tomorrow. A 20 to 30% chance of thunderstorms as well. Increased humidity or sustained humidity, kind of like court. Sustained! Thursday night. 73 degrees for the nighttime high, 67 degrees for the nighttime low, a 30 to 60% chance of thunderstorms as well. And that front arrives from the northwest is what they indicate to us. Now let's move on to Friday. As we can see right here, 89 degrees for the daytime high on Friday, 82 degrees for the daytime low. The potential for storms and thunderstorms as well on Friday, and the cold front passes through. Thank you for that information. Friday night, 67 degrees for the nighttime high, 56 degrees for the nighttime low, and a 20 to 30% chance of thunderstorms on Friday night as well. Now, as we get into the weekend, that's what we're all waiting for. It's what we're looking forward to. 85 degrees on Sunday for the daytime high, 79 degrees for the daytime low. And what do we notice about the beauty of Saturday? Not a drop of rain predicted. No cloud emoji. So let's keep our fingers crossed, right? Saturday night, 65 degrees for the nighttime high, 59 degrees for the nighttime low. Clear skies on Saturday night as well. Now that takes us into our beloved Sunday, 82 degrees for the daytime high on Sunday, 76 degrees for the daytime low. Nice sunny day on Sunday, going into Sunday evening. Check it out, 60 degrees for the nighttime high, 50 degrees for the nighttime low, and indeed another nice, clear Sunday night. Let's recap, ladies and gentlemen, let's recap. Today, a daytime high of 88 degrees, a daytime low of 80 degrees. Tomorrow, 88 degrees for the daytime high, 83 degrees for the daytime low. Going into Friday, 89 degrees for the daytime high, 82 degrees for the daytime low, and the potential for thunderstorms does exist on Friday. And remember that they could be with us into the evening with the 67-degree nighttime high. But back to the weekend and the daytime. Saturday, 85 degrees for the daytime high, 79 degrees for the daytime low. Nice clear skies on Saturday, and those nice clear skies continue into Sunday, 82 degrees for the daytime high, 76 degrees for the daytime low. That is your weather report today on Good Morning Aurora, and we have fantastic guests. Our guests are from the Aurora Regional Chamber of Commerce, Dr. Bill Marzano, and President Jen Mendoza. Let's begin. Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. The time is 9:06 a.m. and you're listening to and watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. It's Wednesday. I hope that you enjoyed the weather report. We have a fantastic show for you guys today and great guests. As I mentioned, Dr. Bill Marzano of the Aurora Regional Chamber of Commerce and Jen Mendoza, president, are here with me today. How you guys doing?
Really good. Great. Good morning.
All right. Good to see you guys. Good to have you guys on the show. Dr. Bill, your first time on our program.
Yes.
And Jen, your second time on our program. Second official time, right?
I've been on a number of times. With
a bunch of times. Yeah. Well, they're all in there, guys. So you are the education facilitator.
Yes.
And you are the president and CEO. And we're here to talk about the legislative luncheon, which is going to be on the 30th. And it's going to be at the Matrix Club. To start off with, let's talk about what's the purpose of the legislative luncheon and what can attendees expect at the luncheon.
Well, I'll give a description of the legislative luncheon as we've held it over the years.
Okay.
But this year is bigger and better, and Jen will talk more about that. But every year, usually at this time of year, because our state legislators are home before the fall session, we pull together those state senators and representatives that represent our Aurora region.
Right.
And I'll ask them to provide updates. It's a panel type format, and each of our representatives has a chance to explain what initiatives they were involved in the spring session and also what they're looking to accomplish in the fall session. And really, last year's session was so great. We had all 5 of our local representatives. We had our 2 senators, Linda Holmes and Karina Villa. We had our 3 representatives, Stephanie Kifowit, Matt Hansen, and Barbara Hernandez. And it was like a civics lesson. What the participants were really able to learn, besides what's going on down in Springfield, they really talked about the process, that when we hear these things coming up in the news and the legislation, they were explaining, like, it started here in committee and it took a while and it went back and forth. So it gave our participants an insight of what's going on in Springfield down through the everyday fall and spring sessions, and also with the question and answer session after the panel discussion, a chance for them to ask specific questions, what might be going on that would impact their business or their organization. So last year's was great. It was very informative. People had a good time. We had a great turnout. Such a good turnout that we're going to a larger venue this year. I'll let Jen talk about that a little bit.
All right, that's exciting.
Yeah, so like Dr. Bill said, we had a really great turnout last year. So this year we decided to take advantage of a brand new member, which is the Matrix Club, and it's a beautiful facility and can accommodate a number of things, from the panel discussion to having a networking business expo, which is something new that we're including in this year's legislative luncheon. So it's not just the panel and luncheon, but it's also an opportunity an hour prior to be able to exhibit with your business, along with all of the panelists, and having their own tables so that people can have that one-on-one contact and be able to ask direct questions the hour prior. So yeah, I don't know if you want me to roll into everything that's involved with that, but that is what is new this year, on top of having congressional panelists this year as well.
Now that's interesting, because for the people who do take part, and as you mentioned, Dr. Bill, there's great information to be had from our legislators, especially in the area of what we as individuals can do to help out and to learn and get involved. There's a lot of ways that the average person can take part in these committees, give your voice, use your experience that you may have to help shape and craft legislation. So it's really a good opportunity to be involved in this way. And that's going to be from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Matrix Club. Are there any spaces left?
Yes. Okay. So we really just started marketing it last week. And we are really in search of sponsors. We have 3 sponsorships, which includes the exhibitor portion. So we have table sponsors, so businesses that want to sponsor a table and have signage on every single luncheon table. for the actual panel discussion. So that's an option, and it gives them 8 tickets to
Wonderful.
to the luncheon. And then for the Business Expo portion, if you wanted to be an event sponsor and have a 6-foot table, you would get signage at the event as well as 2 tickets to the luncheon.
Okay.
And if you want to be an exhibitor sponsor, it's the same except no signage and 1 ticket to the luncheon. So there's different tiers.
Okay.
So we can meet businesses at different comfort levels and be able to give them the option of the most bang for their buck and what they want to get out of the actual event. You can, I believe, on our Facebook page, we've got a post that just got posted this morning that's got information and a link to register, but you can also find it on our website, aurorachamber.com.
Okay.
And Curtis,
Wonderful.
if I can add, is
Absolutely.
Jen just explained when we said it's bigger and better. Well, you can see the scope of the event is larger now with the networking and business
Yeah.
expo. Also, our lineup of legislators is different. We invited, of course, all our 5 Illinois representatives. All 4 of them are going to be able to make it. Unfortunately, Stephanie Kifowit has a travel conflict and won't be back in town in time to join us. But Illinois Senators Linda Holm and Karina Villa will be with us.
Right.
And our Illinois representatives, Matt Hansen and Barbara Hernandez, are committed to be with us. And this is new and big, and it is an election year. But we have a commitment from U.S. Congressman Bill Foster of the 11th District.
All
He'll
right.
join us. And also our other congressperson from our Aurora region, U.S. Congresswoman Laura Underwood, will also
Wonderful.
be joining us. So we have both federal and state representatives. It's an election year. They can ask our federal people about what's happening and our state people. So a broader scope, really, for the legislative luncheon itself.
That's awesome to hear to hear it grow, especially from last year to this year. That's leaps and bounds. That's really great. Great individuals and great congresspeople, state representatives, and legislators who will be taking part in this, some of which we have interviewed. And they always have a lot of good information. And once again, ways that you guys and all of us can participate, take part, and learn more in ways that we can serve. 9:13 a.m. is the time. Good morning to all of you great people. Sherilyn Nat, good morning to you. The chamber's here. Joanna Velez, Aisha Saxon, Jeanette Rosario, good morning to you, dear friend. Dear friend Judd Lofshe is here. Good morning to you, Judd. Daniel Calderon, good morning to you, dear brother. And MJ Diaz, so good to see all of you great people. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. And at the end of this interview, of course, we will put the link, website, and everything about the chamber into the description. The time is 9:14. Dr. Bill, how did the idea of the legislative luncheon start? Who was the person?
Oh,
How did it?
gosh.
Who was the person who thought, you know what we need to do? Let's bring them to here and put it together. How did that happen?
You know what? Jen asked me that yesterday when we were on the phone. It's like, we're going to mention Leadership Academy briefly in a little bit, but it's our 45th year. 46th year for Leadership Academy. So some of these things started way back, and I've been involved with the Chamber over 20 years. It's just, we've been doing it for a long time. When it originated and what year was the first year, but it's always been a nice luncheon event for our members and the cooperation we get from our legislators, and to have that panel and the opportunity for question and answer. It's just been a great thing. So I don't know if we missed COVID year, I really don't know, but we've been doing it a long time, and here again with Jen, everything we try to do is bigger and better.
It has been, and it also seems focused and sustained. Those are the 2 words that I see.
Okay.
The growth and everything. It's been focused and sustained. Now I'll be there for this great legislative luncheon as well, because I'm interested in, again, learning, keeping that knowledge, and sharing that with the listeners and viewers that we have on the show. Now, also, I know that we have some other events that we wanted to get to and talk about as well, because the Chamber's doing so much. We were just on the golf course. That was fun.
We were on Monday.
That was a lot of fun.
Lots of fun. It was a great event. I do want to mention, too, that the legislative luncheon is open to everyone. It's not just a member-only event. In the past, it may have been, but it's definitely open to non-members,
Certainly.
sponsors, and attendees. So yeah, just wanted to make that very clear. We have 6 events going on before our legislative luncheon
Oh, man.
in September.
Come on now.
So yeah,
Good
so
stuff.
like Dr. Bill mentioned, we have our Leadership Academy going
Okay.
into its 46th session. Orientation for that starts next Friday.
Okay.
So that is the first thing. Then we've got our Coffee and Connections Tuesday, September 10th at the Messenger Public Library in North Aurora. So that is something we do every month, the second Tuesday of every month. And then we have, actually the day before that, September 9th, we're having the Aurora Area Crime Stoppers come to the chamber office and do an informational community type event for an hour, 11 to 12. It's they reached out and said, hey, we want to be able to share what it is that we do
Right.
with the business community. So we're having them be our guests to do that.
And if I didn't mean to interrupt, I just want to say a rest in peace to Vernon Lavia, who was the first
Yes.
person who ever
Yes.
introduced me to the Aurora Crime Stoppers. May he rest in peace. He was a
Yes.
dear friend.
Yes. And we have also our In the Know Lunch and Learn September 12th, and we'll have Arella Swan with Aurora Downtown hosting that and giving us all the info on Aurora Downtown. September 19th is our third and final Lead Her Speaker Series of the year. We've had 2 others. This is our third, and registration is filling up, and exhibitor spots are filling up for that, and that's going to be hosted at Casa Santa Maria. And we're going to have Susanna Rivera Mills, the president of Aurora University,
Oh, that's
as
big.
the speaker. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right now.
So
All right.
we are
Big
very
stuff.
excited for that.
Big stuff. Yeah.
Yes. And then we have our business after hours combined with our young professionals event.
Okay.
And that's going to be Thursday, September 26th. And it's going to be at the Copley Theater.
Okay.
And the Paramount is the host of that event. So we'll kind of start over at Copley Theater doing our business after hours and learn about all the great things that the Paramount's doing, and then break off and go see Full Monty for those who want to do the young professional.
Wonderful.
There's just
Wonderful.
so much coming up.
There
So
is.
pick and choose or pick them all, but there's something for everyone, really.
Yes.
Absolutely. Now, the you mentioned that this is going to be the last Lead Her
Speaker
Academy.
series.
Speaker
Speaker
series.
series.
Okay. All right. Now, was the one prior, was that at Hardane? What was
It
the one
was.
prior? Okay. That looked like it was really good, well attended.
It was.
Great event.
All of the events that we've had for our speaker series have sold out since we started doing it last year. So we've been very fortunate and happy to see that it's grown. We like to try to keep it at attendance, between 50-55 to have that kind of intimate setting.
Okay.
We don't want it to get too large. That's why we're having our first conference.
Got it.
And that will be November 8th at Bureau Gravity.
Okay. All right. Very good stuff.
Well, Curtis,
9:19 is the time. Yes.
if I may, I'll just speak briefly about Leadership Academy and what it is and the impact it has on our participants. And this has just been a great program for the community. As Jen said, for over 4 decades, the Chamber has sponsored this program. So Leadership Academy has a number of goals. First of all, it's a field trip based type of program. We meet every Friday morning from Labor Day through Thanksgiving, and every week we're visiting another 1 or 2 major institutions in our community. So for myself, and as we talk about the goals of Leadership Academy, I was a participant some years ago. It had such a tremendous positive impact for me because I was new to the Aurora area. I started at Waubonsie Community College in 2000. I went to Leadership Academy in fall of 2001. So we got to visit Aurora University, Rush Copley, the police station, of course, City Hall, Village of North Aurora, Village Hall, Fox Metro. I mean, we visit over 14 different institutions. I don't know how else an individual in that short amount of time could learn that much about our city. And we have our hosts at each place we visit. Of course, they give an overview and profile of their institution. But in recent years, we've been putting more emphasis on leadership development and servant leadership. So our participants get to hear from CEOs and executive leaders at all these institutions
Right.
and organizations. We ask them, please share your leadership philosophy and practices. So it's almost like a graduate seminar in leadership. So you learn about our community, you get to meet and learn about leadership from our community leaders. We've been emphasizing servant leadership since 2021.
Okay.
We missed the COVID year. Yeah, we missed the
Yeah.
COVID year, but as we reorganized, putting more emphasis, it was always there, but now it's really a central focus on the importance of servant leadership and its power. And the Chamber has even taken another step in recent years that every year now we're going to have our Servant Leader Award when we have our
Business Excellence
Oh,
Award
nice.
Center.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Yes.
gonna be wonderful.
Yes.
That's gonna be wonderful.
And then finally, we say you're learning about the community, you're learning about leadership, and finally, the professional and personal networking that happens in the Leadership Academy. You get to know your fellow participants, you get to meet all these people at all these different major institutions. And okay, so I was in it in 2001 with John Diederich from Rush Copley.
Okay.
So we're still buddies and friends. I mean, it's just amazing that
Yeah.
these people. And finally, to say what Leadership Academy is ultimately about, and John Diederich is a good reference. We say the people that are sponsored by their organizations to participate are usually middle or senior level managers. They're experienced managers that are seen to have leadership potential.
Right.
So, like, we always say John Diederich was in it, and now, he became the CEO of Rush Copley.
Right.
And many of our past participants, if you go down the list, that's the case. In fact, we always identify, as we visit our different sites, the speaker, what year they were in Leadership Academy.
Right.
So we want to show everyone this is a chain, and you're part of this chain now.
Right.
Yeah, that you're going to be a leader of your organization and a leader in the community, being on boards of nonprofits or whatever it happens to be. So thank you for this chance, because
Oh, absolutely.
I benefited from it, and I'm so honored and pleased that over the last few years I've been involved in being the facilitator for our Leadership Academy.
It's a good feeling when you're able to have the experience and then give it to. So
Yes.
it's a really good feeling. As I sit here and talk to you guys, and before the mics came on, before we started talking and looking in the chat, there's a lot of people who have helped us. Tracy Duran is here. Good morning to you, Tracy Duran. Oki Villarreal Borowski.
Oh, yeah.
Good
Hi,
morning to
Oki.
you.
Hi,
Hi,
Oki.
Oki. That's a great friend right there who's
Yes,
doing amazing things in the
absolutely.
community. And we interviewed her on a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Hardly do that, but that's the importance of the message, the individual, and the kind of things that we're doing here. 9:24 is the time. With the last little bit of time that we have, I do wonder. I did want to ask you guys about leadership. Did you have anything did we forget anything?
No, I just wanted to mention that we only have
She's another
3
example.
spots.
Oh, I know she is. Yeah, exactly. That's why we have to pivot.
We only have 3 spots remaining,
Yeah.
and honestly, from last year to this year, how quickly those 20 spots filled up.
Yeah,
We announced it last week, and boom,
we're almost
Right.
full.
Good.
we only have 3
Good.
spots left.
I'm
So
glad.
sign
And Jen
up.
was in Leadership Academy last fall, and here she is.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Well, Jen's been doing amazing things, things. So, and it does make me feel good to sit here and think about the good things we've been doing, and spreading that love, man. That's what it's all about, and that's what this show exists for. It exists for the leadership experience that you had to be talked about and disseminated here for some other person
Yes.
right now to be like, oh, what's that number? What's that link? Hit the button and sign up. That's the purpose. 9:25 is the time.
And if everything that you do and everyone you meet at Leadership Academy is golden, but just to have Dr. Bill be in your connections and in your network, that's priceless right there. Dr. Bill
Thank
is
you.
an amazing, education facilitator, human being, connector, mentor. I mean, we are so privileged at the Chamber to have Dr. Bill lead and just give us all of the goodness.
Yep, and serve and
Exactly.
and
Thank you.
be with us. It does mean a lot. It does mean a
Yeah.
lot. Yep. I love being a part of the chamber. So, I try to share my experience with
Thank
that with
you.
everybody and let people know, and whatever we can do to
We're-
help, that's what we're here for.
We're glad you're a big part of the team now. And I always say to people, you, as Jen just said, you just meet such great people
Yep,
getting involved
absolutely.
in the chamber. You just meet such wonderful people.
Absolutely. Yeah, I remember telling Rick, I was like, Rick, I'm part of the chamber. The first word out of his mouth, Dr. Bill.
Oh.
The first 2 words he says. All right, 9:26 is the time. Jennifer Cannon, good morning to you. And Anissa Landrum, good morning to you as well. So a lot of things that we discussed today. September 30th, the Matrix Club, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Matrix Club is a new location located in Naperville, and that's going to be the legislative luncheon, as Dr. Bill mentioned. Fantastic names of our state legislators, our Congress people, and state representatives too. So you guys get ready for that. And Tusk is this Saturday, so shout out to River Edge Park and shout out to Tusk. Rock on, dude! It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, did we forget anything before we land this airplane? We got a lot to talk. We got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, we've got a lot going on in September. No, we're looking forward to Tusk. The Aurora Regional Chamber is sponsoring the last concert of the season, so we're
Okay.
excited to partake in that.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you guys have a fantastic rest of the day. We will, as mentioned, we'll put the links to all of the events and everything in the description of this video, especially the legislative luncheon. For the other events, I encourage you to follow the Aurora Regional Chamber of Commerce's Facebook page, follow them on Instagram as well, and get involved whenever you see the name and all the stuff going on. And also, not only that, become a member today and learn about all the benefits that come with being a member. The time is 9:28. I hope that you have a blessed, positive, and awesome rest of the day. And Good Morning Aurora will return tomorrow with more news, more weather, and the very best of Aurora. Oh, and also, Luz is on vacation in Mexico with family, so we want to say good morning to Luz and make sure that her and her family are safe. Be blessed. I will see you tomorrow. Take care of yourself and each other.